Okay, sit with me while I do my makeup for stream. I'm so excited to make this video. I'm not gonna lie. This is my first makeup video on YouTube, and this is also my first voiceover, which low-key, I don't know why I didn't think to do this before because voiceovers are honestly a lot more intimidating because getting the raw footage was a lot easier than trying to sit here and like aesthetically do my makeup and um narrated all. I got overwhelmed. So, um, for the foreseeable future, I think voiceovers are gonna be the move, honestly. But anyways, um, this tutorial is also a bit unhinged because when I tell you I did so many things wrong in this tutorial, it was actually kind of funny. Like one, you see me wipe off like my eyebrow again because I use edge control instead of like the eyebrow gel on accident. And so I ended up just putting like the eyebrow gel right on top of it. And I don't know, surprisingly, my eyebrows do turn out pretty decent. But that was the first mistake I made. The second mistake was I look like just now, right then, I looked funny at the camera like that because I realized after doing most of my eyebrow that this is also the wrong color. I normally use so you'll see me use like two palettes a lot throughout my face on this tutorial. You're gonna see me use the Made by Mitchell curve case, and you're gonna use right here what I'm digging into now. That's the Made by Mitchell Color Pop palette. When I tell you both of those palettes together might be $50, but one they've lasted me forever. And when I say like both palettes you could use throughout your whole face, I'm talking about eyeliner, contour, um, eyeshadow base, I use them as an eyebrow pomade, lip liners. Like when I say so contour, bronzer, blush, between those two palettes, like so versatile. Like we'll always use these in my kit. They actually look so disgusting because of the sheer like amount I use both palettes. Like such a one of my favorite TikTok finds by far. But even though I used the wrong color, um and oh, another thing I wanted to note too, the formulas on the two palettes are super different. So that palette is more of like a oil based, well not oil based, but I don't know. That palette is a lot like the formula is a lot thicker than the other palette. So that those pigments you either they suggest that you warm it up either on your hand or with actual movement. So they give you like this spatula kind of brush tool with the palette, and you're supposed to like warm it up. But since I was just using it for eyebrow pomade, I didn't really want it to go anywhere anyways. And so excuse me, we ended up making it work. But okay, moving on to the rest of my eyebrows. I haven't gotten my eyebrows done in an embarrassing amount of time. So um it did take a bit to like work these and even these out because my eyebrows are pretty uneven right now. But honestly, this is like one video you just really have to trust the process. And you see me like looking at like a mirror and peeping back at my setup because this makeup look was mostly going to be for content anyway. I knew I had like a pretty long stream to do today, and so I really wanted to look good for it. So you'll see me like peeking between the mirror and my setup because I know if it looks good on the mirror and it looks good on my setup, it'll photograph well, it'll video well, and so that's basically like how I've been doing my makeup since I've been doing content. But a little bit honestly, if this is your first time hearing from me, sorry y'all. This is my first voiceover and I did not plan any of this. So we're gonna get through it together. But my name is Lola, aka Do Lola on TikTok. I mostly stream video games, but through a hyper feminine lens, meaning um I don't try and assimilate to masculine culture at all. I am a woman. I'm feminine presenting. I don't try to be masculine at all. I just happen to play video games, mostly FPS games. So like Call of Duty, really. I play the finals also. Played other shooters like R6. I also like little indie games. I own a PlayStation 5 and a PC, and um not gonna lie, I mostly game on my PC now, but I know it's like a male dominated hobby, but it's plenty of women that play the game. It's plenty of women that stream. It's no need to you know, try and present more masculine and assimilate in that way. Like I'm not really all that toxic. I'm not gonna yell at you or cuss at you at the game. I just really like to get on my gameplay and then get back off, honestly. Um I've been streaming on TikTok for a little over 2 years. I do like TikTok a lot more than Twitch. The algorithm is way easier to understand. The community is a lot more hands on over there. Um, it's it's a little bit of somebody for everybody over there. I really do like TikTok a lot. So I'm so happy that it's here to stay, and the whole drama about it getting banned, we should be hearing about that anytime soon. But one thing about TikTok is everything is so, as hard as I work on my content, I feel like everything is so fleeting over there. So I really want to like make a move into more long form content because as much as I spend on my setup, as hard as I work to really see another mistake, I accidentally blended over that back line. And I feel like those back lines are so, that point at the end of your eyebrows, just, I don't know, I just love it. And I hate I messed that up. But again, it still comes together. Like, just keep watching. But anyway, what was I talking about? Jesus. Oh, I work really hard on my content, so I really wanted to like make a move to come on YouTube and really be present on here more. So I feel like I'd be able to see like the fruits of my labor more on here than I do on TikTok. Cause as much as they say like you could post a post and then it might could go viral later, all that. But honestly, once you post after a certain time frame, like that one piece of content is really pretty irrelevant. So, this is my step into more long form content, which I'm really, really excited about. I have a lot of hope and aspirations for this page. So, in the next couple of months, I just hope to really get a better footing onto YouTube and really understanding the algorithm more and moving my audience in this space as well. But um, back to the makeup tutorial for a second. One thing I would say, this we're actually like a third of the way through the, I wouldn't even call this a tutorial, more of like a walkthrough. Like we're more of a third of the way through the walkthrough now. And honestly, most of that was eyebrows, just because I feel like eyebrows are so important, which I know they look funky here, but I do some more contouring and blending, and they really do and I set everything, and they really do look a bit more even later on. Right now they look kind of crazy, but you really have to trust the process. And when I say blend, like, if you don't spend time blending anything else, please blend your eyebrows, please, please, please. One, and two, stop putting like your concealer on the top of your eyebrows. I know, like, at first, like, back in, like, what was that, like, 2015, 2016, it gave, like, that freshly done look, but I feel like it's so difficult your, getting your foundation close enough to your hairs to make it look highlighted and not, like, super duper bright, so I just quit doing, I got that tip from one of my homegirls, but the, just, carving out the top with your foundation and the bottom. And then I also like to go right back over it with the foundation because I really don't like my eyes all that bright with the concealer. I like for my contour to be like super duper natural, as close to my skin as possible. I don't really like a super a super bright high, or not contour, a super bright highlight. Back to my overgrown braids. I know I need to take them out, but this is the curve case I was talking about. If you could kind of see the differences between the formula, like it's a lot thinner than color, the color pop case. I absolutely adore this palette because the darker shade, that darker brown, that's what I normally use for my eyebrows, and I think it's just dark enough. And sorry y'all, I'm sick. And then the three shades under it, the two middle shades, I use that for my contour and my bronzer. And the last shade, sometimes I might blend it in for a bronzer. Sometimes I'll just use it sometimes I might use it just for a lip liner, because all four browns are really really pretty lip liners as well. But it looks like in this video I'm using it to carve out my nose, which love my Afrocentric features. I don't really go for a super duper itty bitty tiny nose, but I do like for the bridge of my nose to be um, super carved, especially in the middle there, to be super carved out. Because I feel like a lot of like African Americans, our nose can go like a bit flat right there. So just like highlighting my bridge, I I love the way it makes my face look. It gives it like a sleek look. Which honestly, don't sleep on contouring your nose, especially as a black woman. I don't care like how your nose is shaped. Like you could really, really like shapeshift when it comes to contouring here. But I didn't realize this until like I got a palette that had more than one different shade of brown. Cause those cooler tones, like you see me go in with like a warmer tone first. I think that gives it like dimension, and then like the cooler, darker tones, it really, really gives it shape there. Like you see the difference. Like you could really, really see that middle part of my nose. Like it really, really highlights my bridge. And so I even go back in with that cooler, darker tone on my cheeks to really like carve them out and highlight it there. I feel like your I feel like bronzer and the differences between bronzer and contour isn't really talked about enough, especially when it comes to black women doing makeup. So I'll say right now, if you're not using a case like this, I would go um whatever contour you're using right now. Definitely make sure you have like a warmer tone that's slightly darker than your skin. That's what you want to bronze with, and then get like a cooler, super dark tone to like really, really carve out those shadows and like not change the way your face looks, but highlight the beautiful shapes of your face. That's personally what I do. Um, I I definitely see the differences in my makeup. And then another tip I got from TikTok is it's totally fine to go super duper heavy with your bronzer, especially around the edges of your face. One, it gives your face dimension, and two, if you have a really really good setting powder, like if you have a really really good setting powder, it's gonna end up fading anyway. So when it comes to your bronzer, contour, your blush, like you put it on and then go a little heavier, because if you don't put enough, it's not gonna show up in your makeup. Just ends up looking murky, especially when you're filming yourself. Especially when you're filming yourself, because I tend to like my exposure really low on my camera anyway. So I have good lighting in my room and on my cameras, but I just don't like that super duper bright look. So my cameras, my cameras and my pictures tend to be a little darker anyway. So especially when I'm doing my makeup, I tend to go like a bit heavy on the contour. Not necessarily the highlight. See, for me personally, that's enough. because I'm really going for like a low key, like pretty chill look. I'm putting after I finished doing my makeup, I just threw on, you know, some leggings and my favorite cream knit sweater. And so it was I was and then my blue light glasses. So it was a super chill day, like super like we weren't doing anything crazy. The Warzone update came out today with the BO7 integration. So I knew, like I said, I knew I was going to be on live for a little while. So I just wanted to look a little, not better. Better is not a good word. I just wanted to look a little bit more than I usually look. So um another thing is I am getting older. I'm definitely 27 this year. I recognize my eyes are definitely getting a little darker, and that's a skincare concern that I'll definitely have to start addressing. I'm thinking about picking up some caffeine. I heard The Ordinary has like caffeine serum, and I heard that's really good for dark circles, which I didn't start on it earlier because I wanted to see if I would have those issues because some of the women in my family they do tend to have darker eyes and some of the women they don't. So I wanted to see how my skin would fare, and so it looks like I will have problems with hyperpigmentation around my eyes. So that'll be something I address. But I in this video, I really didn't go over the names of brushes either because I'm not gonna lie, these brushes come from so many different weird places. Like I know for a fact this brush is a brush that my cousin gave me when we were playing. I went to her house and we were literally like playing with makeup one day. Like she just wanted to show me her kit, so she ended up giving me some stuff and she gave me this brush. So she had bought an extra one and gave it to me. So it looks like a real Technique brush, and knowing her, I'm sure she doesn't buy off brand. So I'm pretty sure this is a real Technique brush, but which one, I don't know. And I'm not gonna lie, all my brushes are in deplorable condition. I wash them regularly, but I wash them with like dish soap. So after the first wash, like the names of like what the brush actually is and like the paint around it starts peeling, whatever. So um I know for a fact those powder puffs, I'm pretty sure I either got those like in a wig kit or off of like I did order a big pack off of the TikTok shop too. So but I mean that's not special. You can get those from just about anywhere. But I definitely like these more than the sponges because one you can wash them whatever, and I don't know the sponges like it doesn't matter how you keep them or how many times you wash them. I feel like as soon as they get wet one time, they start smelling moldy, and I don't know. They're just kind of gross. So I don't have any sponges in my kit. Just brushes and those little cotton pads because they're all easy to clean and my skin isn't really terrible. Like I have some problem areas. You see, I have like one big pimple on my forehead because I just had my cycle, and but I don't have any like major skin concerns that mess with like my self confidence. Luckily, so um, this is the first half of the video. All those products were pretty affordable. So the Made by Mitchell palettes, and then I also use L'Oreal Infallible foundation. Um, that concealer I used was this Elf concealer slash foundation that I found out about ironically again on TikTok. So all those products were pretty affordable. Of course the L'Oreal Infallible. I know for a fact it's less than $20. I want to say it's around 14 or 15. And I've had that bottle for forever. I'm not gonna lie. It's almost getting to the point where it could be expired because, as you also saw, I don't really put on like a whole bunch of foundation when I do my makeup. And then but this is where the routine starts to get a little expensive. if you are wanting to spend a considerable amount of money on any part of your routine, it should be your powders. So first, I went in with that press powder. That's by MAC. That's the MAC, I think, Studio Fix powder. I'm gonna try and include like the names of the products in the description, but not the exact colors, but the names I'll definitely include. But that's the MAC Studio Fix. You see me going in with the Juvia's Place bronzer. That's the Fenty loose powder. Normally I go with my one size translucent powder, but like I said, I really want like a super natural and even look. So that loose powder is closest to my skin tone. So I really use that one when I want to have like a toned down, more low key kind of look. So that's what I use today. And so um, the MAC, the MAC is way lighter than my skin tone. That's more in line with like the color of my highlight. So that keeps like my eyes and my high points bright. I didn't go in with the contour on the Juvia's Place. I just used the bronzer. Um, and then I think no, I used the I just used a contour. I didn't use a bronzer. And then I used the contour color to continue to highlight my nose, make sure it didn't get washed out by that loose powder I just used. Um, and then finally, I don't know what I'm looking for. Oh, my eyeshadow. Because sometimes, depending on what colors I'm using, if I'm doing like more of a natural look, I'll definitely just do my eyeshadow at the end of my routine because I know all the colors are going to be closer to my skin tone anyway. So I don't really care as much about bleeding or fallout as I do, like, let's say if I was using purples or pinks, like that definitely would ruin my makeup. So in those cases, I do my makeup or my eyeshadow first. But um, when I'm doing more of a natural look, I do like doing my eyeshadow towards the end. Um, Only because for one reason alone. So now that I'm getting older, I will admit I do have bags under my eyes. So that transition color under your eye really does make or break a look. And so I find myself forgetting to go back at the end of my base routine and putting the transition shade under my eye. So um, I would much prefer to just do my whole base and then come back in with the eyeshadow and get it all done at one time. And this palette also looks disgusting because I spam it. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of my favorite palettes. It's one of my favorite eyeshadow looks because I really am like a simple girly. I just much prefer like very simple makeup. And so if I'm not going anywhere extravagant, like this is really like a really common everyday look for me. And I really just love the chocolatey browns. I love the different shades of brown on my skin. And especially when I put on my big lashes and my shiny lips, like this is really like a go-to look for me. But like I was telling y'all earlier, that that darker shade is what I really like to use for my eyeshadow. One because I feel like it just makes it come off a lot more natural. I don't really like super duper dark eyeliner. Not eyeshadow, eyeliner. We're talking about eyeliner. I don't really like super duper dark eyeliner. And also another thing about me is if I'm putting on eyelashes, I don't like super duper defined eyeliner either. I So that's why I'm going in with like this super big fluffy concealer brush because I'm taking just a dab of that pigment because these palettes are super duper pigmented and I'm really just smudging it out and creating like this contour. I mean, I really did wing it out like a lot more than I wanted to, which was a mistake, but I ended up kind of liking it a little bit. Normally, I would just keep it focused on the corner of my eyes because one thing about me, as you obviously could tell, I have absolutely massive eyes. I have massive, massive eyes. And a lot of beauty girls will tell you not to do your waterline black because it makes your eyes look a lot smaller. But in my case, I really really want that. I feel like after you put your lashes on and mascara on, it gives you like such a really pretty and seductive eye. And this is just a creative touch that I'm adding. I don't know if y'all remember the Hunger Games, the fashion designer in the Hunger Games, but he had like a very basic makeup look and he just did a sparkle in the eye. I don't know. I was feeling like that when I did this, but that's a that's a that's a liquid eyeshadow I found at Ulta one time, and I forgot what I got it for, but the color is absolutely gorgeous. And sometimes just like sticky, I like to stick it just in the corner of my eyes just for like a little bit of glitter because it's 2025. I don't really think anybody's really using highlighter like that anymore. Maybe they are, but I don't know. I just, me personally, shoot me. I don't feel like highlighter is all that practical. So, um, shoot me. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I just don't like the way it looks on me personally. So that's my little piece of glitter. Also, this is me trying something new. I saw somebody say like drag your lip liner out um when you're lining your lips. I personally thought it looked kind of murky. I should have just wiped it off here, but I tried to like, stick it out to see. Um yeah, didn't like it. But this is a Juvia's Place lip liner. I don't know what color. I have to look it up. But this is my go-to. I literally use it with whatever color, every color. It really doesn't matter. What I'm doing. If it's red, clear, another brown. I have a brown lipstick that I like to use as well. Like I pretty much that's pretty much my go-to lip liner. But if I don't use that lip liner, I'll use one of the other brown colors on that palette. Or if I'm feeling fancy, um I might mix some colors off of that ColourPop case. But I mean that's a very rare occurrence. Another thing I like to do is put concealer on my lips only because I have like super dark lips. I've had super dark lips since I've been a child. Um, my grandparents used to joke and say I look like I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. So I don't know. It's just it might not be all that bad, but I feel like my lips are super dark. So I always put a little bit of the same highlighter that I use under my eyes. I'll put it on my lips just to brighten my lips a little bit and make them look a little less like I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. But and then of course like the the little NYX lip glosses. I have like a million of these. Like I guess today I chose to use pink, but I don't really particularly like this color, but I already bought it, so I had to use it. So here we go. I have a brown one that I actually really really love, but I hate that you have to take them with you because low-key they don't last all that long. So of course the one that I really wanted to use is lost. And of course finishing up with like a beauty supply store lip oil, and that's pretty much a lip combo. But to change up my lip combo, I don't know if you saw, I also like to put like a little bit of my blush in it, or like I'll dab it with like a little bit of the contour if I want them darker. But that keeps like my lip combos not looking so the same all the time since my routine is pretty standard. Okay, now I'm not gonna lie. The last part of this video is me putting on um these lashes. I'm not gonna lie, these lashes have been used maybe more than once, and low-key the way I put on lashes is a little unhinged. So this is not a tutorial. This is again just a part of the walkthrough, and I just didn't have the effort to edit this in a way where I just would be less embarrassed about how I put on lashes. So just I guess enjoy it. But basically what I do is I put a crap ton of clear glue on it. I don't know how people use anything besides clear glue. And I just set it on top of my lash line and let it dry. And I just slowly like press it in later. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times my lashes are crooked, but that's personally how I do it. So it just is what it is at this point. Um, yeah, like I said, these lashes have been used. So, um, that's pretty much it. After I put the lashes on, I spray my face down. You'll see me spray myself with or wipe myself with a fan. I'm gonna try to include like a clip for my stream at the end just so you all can see how it um videoed. But if you have any questions about makeup, you can put them down below. Or if you have any questions about streaming or streaming on TikTok or streaming in general, I have streamed on every platform. I've streamed on Kick before. I've streamed on I'm affiliate on Twitch. I've streamed here on YouTube. Like I said, I think I've really gotten my footing on TikTok. I'm pushing 8K on there now, so I'm super duper excited about that. I know some people grow a lot slower, some people have grown a lot faster. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm proud of my 8K and I'm proud of the amount of time that it's taken because my journey is mine and I know what it took for me to get here. So I'm super duper grateful for the platform that I have and the platform that I'm building. If you want to see me over there, that'd be great if you stop in and say hi. My socials are included in my bio. It's Duda Lola. But like I said, my focus right now is really on YouTube and growing this platform and making my content last a bit longer and have a bit more of an impact um beyond like what I've been doing short form wise. And so I'm honestly like super duper duper excited about this. I'm super excited to see what's going to come of this. And so that's pretty much it. Like we're pretty much winding down now. But I ended up having to redo that right lash because I know y'all saw it was crooked at first, but I thought like maybe it was because the glue just wasn't dry enough. I think it just wasn't enough on there. So that's just me going back in and like reapplying that glue. And you'll see I'll blow it a little bit and I'll literally stick it right back on. And it pretty much stayed. I still have those lashes on now. But I think that's like the super stay. It's the Kiss Super Stay glue. If I wanted to, I really could keep these lashes on for like 2-3 days. Like this, I don't know what they put in this glue, but this is the strongest lash glue that I've ever used. And if you really like a pair of like falsies, definitely like get this glue because you can definitely keep your lashes on for some days. And it's safer. But that's the look. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.